Welcome, game Rise of Kingdoms.
And sometimes it has to deal with, maybe everyone running a specific accessory, running towards middle, like the drum, as opposed to the ring and the horn. I don't necessarily know how other equipment is in Baztet for sure, but equipment will play a bigger role as you start to go up and up in each realm. So we're going to keep our eyes on that for sure. And now I'm seeing
Subscribe Duluya.
sides. I'm not sure.
I think 2244 has this, man, and they have 4 altars, Boba. And they got 4 altars, so they definitely committed people to structures, and we're still able to kind of take this mid. So what is 77 going to do? Are they still committing people to the middle, or did the call come and say, all right, we're shifting the structures? Because they definitely did not win this mid fight. So GG to 2244 on this first arc.
Yeah, and sometimes the skill
Subscribe,
usage was the
like,
same. These
command.
archers are it was tight. Look how these are all red and yellow. It was super close. But if you are GV, you lost round 1. That's okay. That's okay. It's not a make or break arc. The difference with the first arc, and the more important part about the first arc, is it allows you to dictate the pace of the match, right? Do you want to insta capture it? Do you want more, multiple arcs? Do you only want 2 arcs? Do we want to hold it? Are we losing our structures? If not, you know what I mean? Like it allows you to dictate and control what's going to happen in the match.
Yep. And I'm not a fan of holding it, right? If you're dominant in the mid like that, like keep it coming, right? That's what I think. But right now, the match is pretty even with 3,000 points. They are gonna put 2244 in the lead, and the points per minute is still in favor of 2244. So if they do hold it, I think GV77 has to take advantage of this and continue to put aggression to these structures to kind of cut that lead away for that first arc, man. Because this here is now they're gonna play catch up.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on that one, man. Uh, you lost the first arc. The more important one for me, outside of, we know the first one is important for dictating the pace. That second one is really going to decide whether or not, it's a GG's and it's over, or whether you're going to be able to claw back. Because those mid brawls are going to be intense, because you are now going to be unlocking those advanced skills like we were talking about earlier in the match, to the death, Heaven's Grace, and kind of seeing, and it's always fun trying to see the high form arcs in Baztet and Sobek. When it comes to skill usage, it shows that they're actually watching game footage on Horus and those top tier teams, and Anubis as well, to kind of pick up on, a Heaven's Grace. Nobody used to use it. Everyone was always to the death nonstop. And then you started seeing the Heaven's Grace getting mixed in that combo. So it's going to be interesting to see how this next one's going to rotate out.
Yeah, agreed. And as we were saying that, right, so 2244, the arc carry just jumped in the node to pick up to drop the arc and then have a healthier March pick it up. So, and that, Bulba, from my understanding, and then hopefully, I'm saying this right because, supposedly I'm a vet, right, of Arc of Osiris. But when you jump into a node with the arc in your possession and then it falls to the ground because you can't obviously bring the arc into the caravan, that resets the arc timer. Am I correct?
It doesn't. They actually updated that one. So the only way to reset it back to 15 minutes, and it's common like when you see it in mid game, right? You pick it up, you die, they pick it up, and then you'll start to see that if you watch the timer, it will reset back to 15. That is the only way it will reset back to 15, is if they pick it up and then you kill them and then pick it back up.
Got it.
Because
The opposing team has to pick it. Got it.
It effectively switched hands, which resets the timer. So if you get killed and they don't pick it up and you re-pick it back up, it just resumes where it's at. So
got it.
That avoids the stall, and that it used to be where you could constantly just do that, and then they tuned it up to kind of fix that. That way teams couldn't do that.
Which makes sense, and I think that it allows the game to continue being competitive versus someone resetting it for 40 minutes straight, right? So that's great. And Boba, I knew that answer. I was, just testing the community
Hey,
because I'm a
hey.
vet, right? So I should know this.
Yeah, no. It's all good, brother. Sneaky tactics. I feel
Sneaky
you.
tactics.
Even when we don't use it, we're using it. I feel you. But yeah, we're looking at these structures right now. GV is starting to apply some aggression on the bottom side as they're pushing up towards this strand of war. And man, oh man, like it's one of those, like, you want to try to force their hand, but like you were saying earlier, at this point, the best way to force their hand is to occupy as many structures as possible, mitigate that arc, really cut that deficit down so that that first arc isn't worth as much. Yes, they can still dictate, do everything